Hello, everyone. Welcome to 10 Minutes Astrology. Once a week, me and Alejo will be here to share our astrology knowledge with you to help you study astrology. Hi, Alejo. How are you?
I'm fine, Rod. How are you?
Oh,
I'm
not. Yeah.
sorry.
Mhm. What? I'm fine.
Excited about going to Scorpionic land. And I also
Yes.
wanted to mention, because Scorpio is about transformation, if you want to be transformed, both Rod and I are going to be in two magnificent events that are coming in August.
Mm.
One is summer school at the Faculty of Astrological Studies in Oxford, and the other one is the Astrological Association, the conference for the Astrological Association of Great Britain, which is happening at the end of August. So, and it's happening. This conference is going to be amazing. It's 2 days and a half or 3 days if you include some workshops. And the day before, we're actually going to do a tour to a space center, so you can have a fantastic experience if you come. Yes.
Definitely. And we will be there to share our love of astrology, our friendship. It is a great, fantastic event, both event. I've been to summer school for wow, how many years? 12, more than 12 years. I still counting. And that is how I fall in love with astrology. And that kind of a whole week, you are erupt, you are stay in that bubble of the astrology, magical world. People, because we usually stay in the exit college, and then you just like wake up and share breakfast with all your colleagues, your friends, on the Harry Potter style table. So you just like you really feel you are in a Harry Potter film, really. So if you really want to have an experience, please go to faculty summer school. That is a lovely event. And I will talk Alejo. I think Alejo teach quite a lot of things. So I'm not going to ask Alejo say what are you going to teach because here we're going to teach at least like a 10 different course. Well, I just have a workshop, so I want to share with everyone is a comment. So please join us. And for the conference, Astrological Association conference, and it's another place. And yes, Alejo say, is in the end of August. So please come to join us, okay? Alejo, Scorpio.
Okay, Scorpio. So we said Scorpio is about transformation. A Scorpio is a fixed water sign. So the idea is that a Scorpio fixes emotions, and that's why there's this phrase, Scorpio may forgive but never forget. And I think it can be quite right. Scorpio has emotional memory, so they will always remember. This doesn't mean they are mean. This doesn't mean that they are all revengeful and it's kind of story kind of this kind of prejudice that we read in Instagram all the time. What it means is that they have intense emotions and that they approach life from this intensity. So Mars in Scorpio will tell us what this person is driven to. So this person will be driven to have emotionally intense experiences. So this person is also maybe driven to contain emotions when they want to do things. So the idea in this series of talks that we're doing is not just to describe Mars, but to see how do they react when they get frustrated, right?
Yeah,
How do they deal with anger?
yeah.
So Mars in Scorpio will probably come up with a plan to avenge itself. Even if I said they're not all revengeful. Now this is what I'm saying. I'm contradicting myself. Because what I would say is Mars in Scorpio, first of all, it will be driven to act by intense emotions. So if they feel
Yeah.
frustrated, they feel humiliated, it's going to be a problem. You don't want to humiliate a Mars in Scorpio. Then probably, this idea of Scorpio having the sting, they will be able to come up with a plan. And because the Scorpio is so intuitive, they can see exactly where to hit the
Mm.
sting to take the revenge. Because it's a sign that contains emotion, they might not express the anger immediately. They might be able, they might be they might seem very cold actually, but they're very, very moved inside, and they might contain this emotion until they find the right time and the right place to let it to release it. Now, this is the kind of dark side, if you want, or the popular side. I think it's the side that people more know about Scorpio.
Yeah.
But I want to bring another side.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I started from there, so we can take it out of our heads. Scorpio is a water sign. So it's driven, Mars in Scorpio is driven by sensitivity. Mars in
Mm,
Scorpio is the person who might be willing to stand for others and who
mm,
might be willing to do, to act in the name of others, to act, to defend others. And it's a Mars that's very resourceful. So they might be able to come up with a lot of energy and a lot of drive. There's this kind of survival quality in Mars and
mm,
Scorpio that they could use to actually help others. And
mm,
this idea of this thing being so precise and knowing exactly where to attack can actually be used in a very positive way. We can think of doctors being
mm-hmm,
therapists with Mars in
mm-hmm,
Scorpio because they with the Scorpio they can sense, they can feel the pain, the other person's pain, and
mm,
Mars is driven to go there, not to be scared of going there, not to be afraid of going there, but believing that there's life in this pain, there's life in this conflict. So Mars in Scorpio might be willing to go there in order to clean and to heal, which is the keyword for Scorpio, the basic keyword, which is transformation. So it
mm.
can be such a powerful Mars that it's very misunderstood because of the intensity that it brings.
Yes. Yeah, I agree, 100% agree about that intensity and that kind of transformation. It really takes a long time and to work on with it. I think usually our view about the Scorpio, like what you say, people talking about revenge all the time. So we already took out, we can move on. What I like to bring my own observation was that they are, I think usually people are scared about them because they are always associated with crisis. But
Hmm.
we have to think about why. It's not because they cause a crisis. No, they are there. They are there to deal with crisis, especially Mars is about life and death and survival. They are so good at it. So what I think is for Mars in Scorpio, they usually they may not going to do something big, but they save they just like save all those energy to deal with the important things and such a big deal about life death situation or huge transformation or huge crisis that they can usually manage it so well. And the way they manage so well is not direct confront it, but go deep and go beneath and go under. And also, I think I like that you mentioned about that psychological view about it. They are so good in it. So, do we have an example today?
Yes, but I would like to add something else. Mars
Yeah.
in Scorpio might be secretive about its plans, and that's why
Mm,
also people might be afraid. But it's not secretive because they're evil. Ah, I'm hiding the plan. It's simply they don't open up, they don't share with everyone. They share
hmm.
with people that they have a strong emotional connection. So people distrust Mars in Scorpio, and this has created, I think, also the bad reputation they have, simply because they're just not they're not opening up all the time.
Yeah. True. Yes.
Okay, so I have to show the chart. Sorry, I
Yes,
forgot.
please.
So I have to show the chart. And the chart we have today is Oprah Winfrey, born on the 29th of January 1954, 4:30 a.m. in Kosciusko, Mississippi.
Mm,
And she is a Mars in Scorpio in the 11th house.
mm. Wow.
Now, this
That
Mars
is,
is square Pluto, so it's reinforced this whole idea of the Scorpio.
yes.
So, what do we know about Oprah? Well, she's a survivor for sure.
Hmm.
She's a person who has been able to face darkness and face situations in which boundaries have been crossed.
Hmm.
And, she has been through all this process of kind of regaining her sense of power
Hmm.
and being able to thrive, even though I don't want to say from those situations because I don't think anybody should have to go through those situations, but
True.
she has been able to thrive even though she had these situations and to speak, to expose all of this, to expose a lot of things or ideas that may have seemed taboo in the
Hmm.
past.
Mm. Yeah. It is very interesting because I think yes, we heard about those unfortunate story, but she did not. you know, laying there and crying. She just used that as a power to 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 move forwards. And even more is I like the you mentioned about the 11th house. That's the way people adore her. Is she used her power, her show to encourage people to be better. So she bring a lot of hope, like in her show. What we know is she kind of trying to make up other people's wish or something, and bring the good news to improve everyone's life and to have like especially for the community. So my image of her is a very positive person who working so hard, who tries so hard. Is yeah, I don't probably I didn't really notice about her anger or something, but I just see her dynamic is like hanging there, and they use that for 11th house, that a better future view to push forward.
Yeah, I agree. And um, I think she said something um, about forgiving, the power of forgiveness, but I can't remember now exactly what she said. I'm starting to remember when you were talking, because of this idea, that Mars in Scorpio can
Yeah.
be, that we said you may not forgive, you may always want revenge. I think there was this idea of saying there comes a point in which to thrive in life, you accept that this is the life you had, that you were not given another life. And from that, instead of falling, you thrive. You are re-emerge. You re-emerge from these difficult situations, from these ashes. But it has
Wow.
to do with, like she was talking about, this idea of first acceptance. So I think it's an interesting process for Scorpio, because Scorpio
Mm,
is fixed emotion. There might be the trap in Scorpio of getting attached to an intense emotion. And perhaps part of the learning process of Scorpio is to let go, let it flow. Water has to flow in order to
mm,
crystal, it may remain drinkable. So I was thinking about this idea that I think in an interview she said something like that, like, okay, there comes a point in which you cannot keep holding on to these emotions.
mm,
There's a moment in which you have to accept that this is the life that you have, that the life that you were
mm,
given, even if it's unfair. And when you accept that, and I'm saying this with a lot of, I don't know, humility and shame, perhaps, because I understand that some
mm,
people have been through things that are unacceptable.
mm,
But she said this, who has been through this, she has been through dark experiences, right? And she said that when you accept that is when you can actually gain all of these resources of the Mars in
mm.
Scorpio. This is when the phoenix rises again. When you give
Beautiful.
up the desire of having had a different life.
Mm. So beautiful. Yes, I think when we see this chart, there is a T-square between the Mars, Pluto, and also get involved with the Mercury. But the trine with that Uranus, that is very interesting. Like you have to accept. You couldn't give it another life, so you have to change yourself. And I really love this story. Thank you. I think that is the image of it is really, really Mars in Scorpio. Don't you think so?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Alejo, today for bringing us this beautiful story in the chart. And next week, we are going to talk about
Mars in Sagittarius.
that is totally different energy. But before we finish today, I want to repeat again. Please, if you have time this August and you have no other plan, we have two important astrological event in
Oh,
England.
bro, you're too Libra. It has to do with Mars and Scorpio. Not please if you have time this summer. No, make time this summer to come to faculty, summer school, and to the AA conference. You will not regret it. If you don't come, we cut your head off.
See you next week. Bye bye.